Today we're going to break down some of the basic systems for black and gray tank. And so how these systems actually work. We're going to use my Brinkley Z3100 fifth wheel as kind of a real world case study, just to kind of give you a general overview of these systems. While this unit uses a Brinkley waste holding configuration, the engineering principles apply to most travel trailers and fifth wheels. We're going to cover the architecture, the hydrostatic dumping mechanics, sensor failures, pyramid plugs, odor control, and some long-term maintenance protocols. So the system architecture of the system. So an RV sanitation system contains two primary holding tanks. So you have your black tank that stores your sewage, your solid waste for your toilet. And the second one is your gray tank, and that stores your sink water, your shower water, your soap residue, and food particles, right? And so both tanks connect to a termination assembly that's controlled by gate valves that direct waste through a 3-inch sewer pipe, sewer outlet to the dump station or the full hookup connection, okay? So both tanks are connected, but they exit through the same hose. Your system also includes vent stacks for air displacement, tank level sensors, we're going to talk about that a little more in detail, and often a tank flush port, which I have one of those on my system. And so I've got quite a bit of notes here. I'm going to try to kind of go through this, so bear with me. So how the general dumping works, there could be some slight modifications in different systems, but this is how it works in my system and how it does on most modern RVs. So when the black tank opens, you got gravity and hydrostatic pressure, okay? That pressure helps to evacuate the waste, and you want that to happen rapidly and quickly because it creates that pressure to push all that waste sludge into your sewer port. And so the correct dumping order, right, is you want to dump your black tank first, and then you want to dump your gray tank. And so the gray tank also acts as a rinsing mechanism for your sewer hose. And so any of that sludge leftover black tank material is going to get washed out. So it's cleaning out that hose. And so that's very important on those two tanks, that you have enough liquid in those tanks to be able to create that hydrostatic pressure and to allow for it to expel the solids, especially in the black tank. But that pressure also counts in your gray tank as well. So some common failure points. This is a big one. This is the technical term. It's called a pyramid plug. So this will occur when there's insufficient water that is inside your system, and solids, right, that begin to accumulate at the bottom of the toilet, basically. Some RVs, most RVs have a single tube that's going down, right? And the material is gathering at the bottom of that tube. And so that becomes your pyramid plug. That can do two different things, right? So one, it can make it so you have this buildup of material that doesn't get flushed out when you flush your black tank. And two, it can actually plug that pipe, right, where the material comes out of. So if it goes up high enough, it can plug that out, and that can cause your actual toilet itself to not be able to expel water, right? So we want to avoid pyramid plugs. Another failure is sensor failure. So you get residue and internal, material, right, that causes inaccurate readings. And so it can get caked on the sidewalls of your black tank especially. It doesn't impact the gray tank as much because it's more liquid and there's less solids, other than there could be some food waste. So you could have that if you allow food waste down your sink. So to prevent the sensor failure, the solution is basically, I call it threefold. Most people will say two, but it's three in my opinion. So one is you can do back flushing. Now, our RV comes with a back flushing port, and you've seen on other videos where I use that port to help expel the material out of the system quickly and rapidly, right? The other one is you want to use enzymes, right? These enzymes will interact with the material in your holding tank, and it will break down toilet paper and solid waste, and that creates that sludge. And so when you have that pressure build up because of the way the system is designed, when you flip open that black tank switch, you're going to have a significant amount of material that's going to expel out of the system. And using enzymes is always going to be better than using chemicals. You may need to use chemicals on a worst case scenario situation, but you don't want to use them if you can avoid it. And if you do, flush your tank very well, put some extra water in it when you're done, and then add the enzymes back into the tank, right? That's really important. You can also have what's called gate valve wear, right? So you can get basically debris or buildup or seal degradation, and that could cause leaks or some resistance. And so on newer RVs, these gate valves are going to last a while, but sometimes they do need to be replaced. It may be covered under your warranty. If your warranty is out, then you may have to replace that gate valve yourself. Gray tank odor, right? So odor often smells worse due to the bacteria that's feeding on the organic residue. So you want to prevent that with periodic rinsing and enzyme treatments, and you want to avoid grease disposal down your tanks. That is kind of important because that grease will sit in there and it just sort of ferments and creates a nasty smell, and you don't want that. And you definitely want to use what in the industry it's called bioenzymatic treatment instead of chemical treatment, because the chemical products, they will just mask the odor, right? The enzyme-based treatments promote a biological breakdown of the waste and reduce the sludge accumulation, right? So something to consider if you're boondocking versus full hookups. So when you're boondocking, you have water conservation, it's critical, right? And when you're on full hookups, you never leave the black valve open. And so that way you always have that pressure when you need to dump your tank. But so when you're on the boondocking, you're not dumping it on a regular basis. It depends on how long you can go. Could be 3 days, could be 10 days. It just depends on the individual, the shower, etc. And so those tanks are going to get very full. You want to make sure you have your enzyme treatment. That's really, really important, because when you go and you take that to a dumping station, that's when you need to expel that sludge. And you should, if they have the hose, you should use that hose and do a flushing on your system. It's going to take an extra 15 to 20 minutes, but it's going to save you the hassle in the long run. There is some industry applicability, right? So while your tank geometry will vary by manufacturer, there is these basic operational principles that remain consistent. So you want to control discharge, you want water suspension, proper dumping order, and you need that routine maintenance, right? So in closing, I just want to say, with a proper procedure and maintenance, your RV holding tanks can operate reliably for many, many years, even post your warranty period. And so you want to go without clogs, odor issues, or sensor failure. But you must understand the sanitation engineering that's behind your RV system and how it transforms you from a reactive person to a preventative person. So an ounce of prevention is going to go a long way. So just kind of remember these tips, and I'm going to expand on this information more in future videos. Make sure to subscribe, like, and post a comment on what your experience is with your particular model of RV, and your basically, if you have a technique that's slightly different, but it's very successful, I would be very interested in hearing about it.